And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 24 games skated on the season. They have a record of 12-12, and they have 24 points. Those 24 points find them 8 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place, they have a record of 4-6. Preds have scored 76 goals in the season. They've given up 77 goals against. Now, I mentioned being 8 points shy of first place Colorado in the Central Division, so let's take a second and recap the most updated standings on the Central Division. The Colorado Avalanche in first place after 24 games skated, 15-7-2, 32 points. That has them 1 point clear of the Dallas Stars with a record of 14-5-3. Winnipeg Jets are in third place with 28 points, 4 points back of first place. Then you'll find the Arizona Coyotes in fourth place with 26 points. The St. Louis Blues with 25 points. The Nashville Predators with 24 points in sixth place. Minnesota with 20 in seventh. And the Chicago Blackhawks with 14 points. 10 points behind the Nashville Predators, and the Chicago Blackhawks happen to be the Nashville Predators' next opponent. So let's start right there. After 23 games skated on the season, the Blackhawks are in 8th place with a record of 7-16-0. Something unique about these two teams in this matchup, they're the only two teams in the Central Division without an overtime loss. Now, they are 10 points behind the Nashville Predators on home ice. They have a record of 3-6. They've only scored 56 games on the season, and they've given up 85 goals against. Now, once the Nashville Predators wrap up this game in Chicago, they do return back to Nashville, but only for one night. That'll be Thursday versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then back out on the road for another back-to-back Saturday, Sunday in Toronto, in Montreal, and then the 12th of December back home for another one-night stand versus the Philadelphia Flyers, and then back on the road December the 15th at the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this is the second of 4 regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators. Chicago Blackhawks' first meeting of the season took place back on November the 18th. Preds scored the 4-2 victory over the Hawks. Lankinen got the victory, 29 out of 31 in that game. It was Cole Smith with 2 goals, Yakov Trenin with a goal and an assist, and Nyquist with the other goal for the Nashville Predators. They'll meet 2 times in the second half of the season in 2024 portion of the schedule. On January the 2nd, the Predators will welcome back in the Blackhawks for the second and final time this regular season. And right near the end of the season, on April 12th, the Nashville Predators will make their second trip into Chicago this season. Quick update on the injury situation for the Nashville Predators. Tommy Novak still on injured reserve. No timetable for his return. The same with Glass, and Carrier is listed as week to week, but not officially on injured reserve. Now, it's time to get into what the Blackhawks have been up to lately. Let's talk about their previous 5 games before we get into the rankings, the matchups, and the numbers between these two teams. They're about to play each other on Tuesday night. The Blackhawks going back to November the 26th. It was a 4-2 loss versus the St. Louis Blues on the 28th. A 4-3 win versus the Seattle Kraken on the 30th of November. A 5-1 loss at Detroit on the 2nd of December. A 3-1 loss at Winnipeg, and most recently on December the 3rd, a 4-1 loss at the Minnesota Wild. Mrazek got the loss, 30 out of 34 in net. Taking a look inside the numbers in the NHL rankings, and it's not particularly pretty, but these two teams are very, very similar in several of their metrics. So let's talk about it. Goals for the Nashville Predators 3.17 per game is 16th in the NHL, while the Chicago Blackhawks 2.43 is 30th overall. The Preds are giving up 3.21 per game. That's 17th overall in the NHL, while the Blackhawks are giving up 3.7 goals per game. That is 29th in the league. In the shots for category, Preds generating 31.2 per game. That's 15th best overall, while the Chicago Blackhawks are generating just 27.5 shots on goal per game. That is 30th overall in the league. In the shots against category, Preds are 17th, giving up 30.4 per game, while the Blackhawks giving up 32.8 per game. That is 28th overall in the NHL. Special teams, not very pretty in these numbers right here, but the Preds have the better of the power play between the matchup. 19.2% conversion rate is 19th in the NHL. 18 conversions on 94 opportunities. Chicago power play is converting at only 11% this season. Is 29th overall in the NHL. 8 conversions on 73 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Blackhawks are ahead in this particular statistical metric. 75% kill rate is 24th overall in the NHL. They've given up 19 power play goals against, while the Nashville Predators have a kill rate of 73%. That's 29th in the league. 20 power play goals against on the seasons. Taking a look inside the individual top scorers, because every team in the NHL is loaded with top talent and high skill, and even the Chicago Blackhawks in 8th place have Connor Bedard leading in rookie scoring with 11 goals and 9 assists for 20 points, leading the Blackhawks in both goals and assists, and obviously in points. Leading Luke Evangelista of the Nashville Predators. You'll hear his name when we get over to the Predators side of the ledger. Kurashev at 4 and 9 for 13 points. Dickinson, 7 goals and 5 assists for 12 points. Donato, 4 and 6 for 10. Johnson, 3 and 9 for 12. Over on the Nashville Predators side of the ledger, Philip Forsberg continues to lead the team in goals with 13, assists with 15, and total points with now 28. Ryan O'Reilly putting together a really nice first season of his Nashville Predators career. 11 goals and 10 assists for 21 points so far this season. The captain, Roman Josi, third on the team in scoring with 5 goals and 12 assists for 17 points. Gus Nyquist, 3 goals, 14 assists, 17 points. And Luke Evangelista, like I said, second in rookie scoring on the season. 3 goals, 10 assists for 13 points overall. Anticipated goaltending matchup sees UC Saros in net with a record of 9-10-0 and a .900 save percentage, 3.05 goals against average, against Peter Mrazek, a record of 5-8-0 and .899 save percentage, a 3.42 goals against average. That's going to get you all set up for the Nashville Predators at the Chicago Blackhawks. Neither of these teams particularly great on the road or at home, so the Nashville Predators an opportunity to take their second game of the season against Chicago Blackhawks. It's critical when the Preds get to play teams below them in the standings that they seize the opportunity and get these points. Preds 2 out of 2 on points on the season. Let's make it 4 out of 4 in Chicago. We'll be back with the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We got to talk about everything that happened between the Nashville Predators and the Buffalo Sabres. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.